Hey guys, welcome to the second part of my Reflections PC build. Today I'm just going to show you a few of the extra parts first that I've gotten since the last video. Right here you can see that I finally got my Ryzen 9 5900X. Those finally came in stock. I also got my 1TB 980 Pro from Samsung, so that'll be my PCI Express 4.0 boot drive and also game drive since it's 1TB, so it should have more than enough room on there. Other less important things I also got, I got some biocide because I'm just going to be running distilled water in there. In my previous build I used a silver kill coil for getting rid of like any bacteria and stuff. This time I'm going to use this because I had some corrosion issues before. So this guy's just anti-corrosive and a biocide that'll be just mixing into the distilled water. I also got a few extra fittings. So I got some more 90 degrees. The same ones as I had over here, but I just got some extra ones just in case. I got some little offset adapters just in case I need to like do some small bends. And I got some multi-link adapters so I can do a tube-to-tube 90-degree bends. Just to make some of the tubing look better and be actually a bit simpler too. So they're just these like chrome, really nice fittings from Bitphoenix. And I also got, if it's in here, oh yeah, it's in a separate thing, but I also got a spacer fitting so that I can go far enough down to clear this fan here. Speaking of the fans as well, you might notice on my table that I don't have the rest of the LL120 fans. That's because I ended up returning those fans since the fans I initially wanted, the Lian-li SL120s, finally came in stock. So I've ordered a bunch of those and returned all but one of these fans. The ones that I had modified is the one I still sitting here. So all those ones, the new fans should be coming in about next week probably, but I don't really need them for the build progress right now. So we'll be going ahead with just those fans and some of my old fans that are just sitting there that'll just use as placeholders for now. The next part that I'll cut to in a bit will just be I'm doing a test boot right now. So you can see right here, I've got the CPU mounted and my CPU block just for like a hunk of metal to keep it cool while I do a test boot just to make sure that the RAM works, CPU works. I'm going to have to do a BIOS update just to get the CPU to recognize. Probably put the graphic card in there as well just to make sure everything all that works, and we'll move on from there. So see you in the next part. Alright, welcome to part 2 of this video. So as you can see here, we've got my test setup all ready to go. I've just got my RTX 3080 plugged in. Everything's wired really dirty to the power supply, which is sitting on the table. We've got the CPU installed with the water block on it, but obviously no water. But we're just going to be going into the BIOS, so we're not going to have to worry about heat that much. Plus, I got a fan just blowing a bit of air at it, so we should be fine. RAM is installed. I've also got the 1TB M.2 SSD installed under that heat sink right there. What we're going to do is just boot up the power supply. We'll see if the keyboard and everything will light up and see if we get a signal to the TV, monitor, sorry. And that'll be our test. So let's first go off and get power to the board. We might see some LEDs show up. We'll see if the keyboard gets power. That gets standard power usually. And then we'll use my handy dandy screw bit to short out the power pins on here and see if we can get that to go. Alright, so let's try it out. So on this motherboard you got to short out the, sorry for the shadow, front too. Oh, you can see the keyboard just decided to light up, so we do got power. So let's try shorting it out. Nope. There we got power. Fans are booting up. RAM is lighting up. Let's see if we get a signal in the next like 30 seconds here. Oh, there it goes. We got the boot. Let's see if we get into the BIOS. Oh, we got a BIOS update. Not expecting that. We got, yeah, LEDs are there. So let's see. Looks like a successful boot here. I'll just let it go for a bit longer, see if the BIOS update finishes. I did have to do a BIOS Q flash, which I had a bit of trouble doing earlier. Turns out the USB I was using just didn't work even though it was formatted correctly. So I had to go in and take a second USB, and thankfully the Q flash worked with that one. So that was like 2 hours wasted. But yeah, everything looks to be running. That finished. Let's see what happens. The rattling you're hearing is just this fan here. All right, we got the boot again. Yes, we don't have a boot device. All right, cool. I'll start another video. I'm just going to get in the BIOS itself and look around there, and we'll see what we can do. All right, so quick update. We're in the BIOS now. You can see that the CPU temperature is actually pretty high, so poor little block isn't doing that much. But see our 1 terabyte SSD is showing up. All our RAM is showing up. 32 gigs of RAM, 5900X, the newest BIOS. So we are good. Next video, we're going to be maybe bending some tubes, test fitting some stuff, and should be good. See you in the next one.